Me jumping? Or me cleaning up a pile of dirt? This is what it's come to. What's up, guys? It's Sean from Tinting Warriors, and today we're starting with a Prius. That was a joke. Prius is over there. This customer originally did 20% on the two fronts to match the back, but it's not dark enough because he has the white interior, so we're gonna take the 20 off the two fronts. We're gonna put 5 on the two fronts, and we're gonna put 5 over the back, making it all much darker. You're perfect. You are enough. So we've been going live on TikTok, actually. It's actually really fun because you get people that are just growing on TikTok and they're just like, what is happening here? And they say some funny comments. So make sure you're following Tinting Warriors on TikTok so that you can get those notifications when we go live, because we tend to do full cars live and we're only doing that on TikTok at the moment. T30 torque step. There's no screw in there. Maybe someone else took it out? That's weird. These fall out sometimes on the Model Ys. They're quite annoying, but they are a necessity to keeping the rubber on to the door. Gotta kind of like stretch this rubber to get it around the edge without stabbing yourself. Gotta stab myself twice. I swear I'm okay. I'm gonna do that after. When it's cold, these panels are so stiff, it's hard to get off, and I just cut my finger before, so there we go. The cold is not fun. Am I weak or is this strong? What's going on? I've never had this much trouble taking the gaskets out of a Model Y. Maybe they've stepped their game up on the clips that they use. See, I pushed on the window. I do that because there's no gasket there, and if it hits the metal, it could scratch the glass. Roll the window down to pop the top of the panel back. Gives you that extra grab area here. Anybody got time for that? Sorry, Tom, but you're fired. Alright, so a little tip here I've learned. I've never had this problem before, but when your Model Y has these kind of clips here, I believe all the Model Ys have these. Use a trim tool to pop them out rather than just pulling on them so you don't release them from the rubber, because you'll be creating another 15 minutes of work just trying to get those clips back in. Time to get stripping. We'll take off these two fronts, spray them with soapy water, let them soak up a bit. And while they're soaking, I'll cut out the patterns. I'll leave this on the ground so when I scrape off all the glue, I'll throw the glue onto that. I can just throw it out. Get this out of here quick. Let's see what we got on TintWiz. I know it's a slow day. So all we got after this is the 2019 Q50 until maybe someone else calls. This guy canceled last night. TintWiz, super organized. I love it.
You know, I started thinking about what if he did that?
How did it not scratch it?
Are you still doing it?
Yo. Wow. That's impressive. I was just going with the flow, thinking about my yard getting raked today. I never scraped tint like that before. Actually, I have done it a couple times. That was funny. That just shows how little pressure I put on the glass when I'm scraping the windows, because I don't want to scratch the glass. You're just listening for contamination. I didn't even scratch the tint. It's pretty impressive. We'll let that soak up. I'll change out my blade so that it's fresh when I scrape the glue off. Need another one. Gotta go to Window Tint Supplies. Hi, can I get a razor? Here you go. Okay, thank you. And let's start cutting this vehicle out. 5% on everything. Everything? Everything. And then we have to cut out some PPF. PPF Tommy over here.
Just waiting my turn.
He's not wearing uniform. You can't put him in the video.
I don't know what my first one either. I only got
2 of them?
Yeah, I know.
I gave you like 8 of them. And it's coffee time. So all these razors were in my pouch this morning, in the center.
I'm telling you, you're stealing my shit. Look, you're the culprit right there. You're the culprit.
Yours isn't over there?
It is over there, but it's I lost it.
Maybe you lost it and I found it. Maybe they're all mine and you're just borrowing mine. Ooh, almost messed up. So when doing the Teslas, I like to leave the liner on at least the bottom. So that way when I am shrinking it on the outside, I'm not burning the clear release liner because the release liner actually burns faster than the tint does. So I'll leave the tint on the bottom, that way it doesn't burn. We got the 2 back doors here, 2 front doors, 2 rear quarter glass windows. Just trim the excess, not peeling the liner. We got a cut through. I guess the plotter is not calibrated properly. It's a never-ending war right now. Peel that one. Switch my plotter over to PPF. I got a PPF setting and I have a PPF blade, paint protection film. The tint one, I like to blow the residue out every time I take it out or put it back in. The residue builds up, the blade doesn't spin properly. Whenever I cut paint protection film, I like to pull the full length before I actually cut it because I want to make sure there's no skewing of the material as it comes out and eventually falls off the rollers, because that's drastic. You're gonna have to throw out that whole piece of material. So I like to pull out the full length and then I just let it cut, knowing that it won't skew at all enough to go off the rollers. Still have to scrape the glue off, so I'm gonna do that before I go lay any material out on the outside of the windows. What's going on with this window today? Now that the soapy water has been sitting on the glue for a period of time, it's much easier to scrape off rather than just going at it when it's still dry. It kind of acts like a sponge and absorbs the water. Swiper, no swiping. She's like, I do not want to be a part of this. Remember every time we used to do a day in the life, it was always a Tesla, the first vehicle that we started with? What was up with that? That's a summertime thing. Yeah, well, that's wintertime. Summertime Teslas, wintertime trucks. Gotta make sure we get all the glue off this window. Any glue left behind is contamination in the next tint job. Put a smile on that frown. Where's all the water going? Out the bottom of the door. I don't want to hear it in the comments, even though we're still gonna. Since I just went over this etching with the razor blade, I'm gonna switch to a new one and then use the fresh one for the rest of the window. Once you go over these etching, it dulls the blade out quite a bit. So I went, did I tell you I got a temporary mailbox? Came with the post and everything, I put it in. I ordered that custom mailbox, so I'm like, all right, I gotta get my mail. Thankfully I put the mailbox there because I actually got mail that I needed. But then I get I sign up for UPS Confirm. It says, your mailbox will be delivered tomorrow. And I'm just like, what? So I just wasted $50 on a mailbox that I'm never gonna use again. It's just a story of my life. When you buy it, it goes low, and then when you sell, it goes high. Yeah. When you buy a mailbox that you don't need, then your mailbox comes the next day. And dance party time! Oh, the light shut off. You should have a dance party every 30 minutes. Just the light shut off and laser beams go on. Dance party! Even the customers hear it, or it plays in the waiting area. Good thing we just got restocked on these. All doors about an inch from the bottom. You hear that pitch match? Ooh, I gotta be careful with this. So if you guys have a Apple Watch Ultra and you have this band here with these metal, the diving band, I believe it is, hit the glass when you're wiping the glass to actually scratch the glass really bad. It happened on the vehicle, and it did it very lightly, and I was able to actually polish the glass with a root edge polishing machine. But if I hit it any harder, it would have been permanent damage. So, you know, if I would have peeled the tint off of this bottom layer, or the weeded material, the clear release liner would actually burn when I'm heating it here, and it would cause a lot of interruption with the shrinking process. So I'm just gonna go around and shrink all these windows, let them cool down a little bit, and then we'll start slapping them on. And then we'll do the next car. Then we're going to the gym, baby. Gotta get these gains. You know what I need? Coffee. Hit it with a little spray squeegee spray. This thing is gonna be dark. The Chinese balloon. That's it, you're fired. bottom load the whole bottom edge first. Since it is a frameless window, we can do the whole window or the whole bottom edge. Slide it up. Get it to tack, it's slipping around a bit. You can see there's an inconsistency with the cut of the glass. That's Tesla for you. It's never perfect. I actually have quite a bit of overhang on this. We're going to heat up the outside of the glass so that we can speed up the drying process in this area that we have to trim, just so that it's nice and dry. When we go and shave that edge, it doesn't lift up. I don't know if you guys missed it in the beginning, but make sure you follow that TikTok, Window Tint Warriors. We'll put the link right down below in the description. First link. That's where we're going to do the majority of our live streams for now, because it's the easiest setup. And we reach a whole new audience on there, so it's really cool to see everyone's comments that have never seen window tinting before. It's definitely fun. It's very, very fun, and it's live, and we answer questions live. We have Ernesto holding the phone, reading out the comments, and answering any questions you guys have. Beautiful. 1018. We have a little bit of overhang here as well, just in this area. It's just the inconsistency with the Tesla glass, with the pre-cuts, how they're cut. When they make the pre-cuts, they're made with obviously a physical piece of glass, and then if there's inconsistencies with the manufacturing, then that's where you have issues with alignment. So we're gonna let that overhang dry, and just like the other one, we'll trim it up after. The back edge lined up pretty well on this one. We'll move on to the other side. It didn't win, but I'm glad that the people that did win won. We're doing it again next time.
I didn't win, but I'm glad that the people that did win won. In different situations, there's a lot of pressure. It is what it is. Let's have some fun.
Chicken wing, chicken wing. So far, we've had no luck with perfect alignment on these. Sounds like a Tesla problem. Ooh, I'm telling your grandpa. The donut monster. He's so sneaky.
I'm back into the
Email? It logged out?
yeah, I accidentally logged it out because I was checking my email.
Nice. Unacceptable. I'll be right there. Doing personal work on on business hours. This one lined up really well. Very nice. 1 out of 4. Saw that? Wasn't too fast for the camera. Did I do this window already? It's funny I say that. One time I was filling in for another window tinter, and I went to a Toyota dealership to finish a Prius for him. I guess he wasn't feeling good that day. He had the windows, the car was outside and it was snowing, and the window, the tint was on the outside like this. He's like, I finished a few windows, but I didn't get to finish like the back window. I think I had to come and do. And this window was on the outside like that. And I was like, bro, like you didn't even put the tint on. Like you had it cut out already. It was hand cut, but same concept. He was like, oh really? I thought I installed it. I never did work for him again. We'll be on to the next car. I can't even see what I'm doing here, but I've just done this window so many times that I know the overlapping strokes. Your shoes untied. That's how you know Tom's about to ask a question. Ready? Let's wait for it. I know all of you like the back of my hand.
Would you like to help me put them on the car?
Crazy, right? I wonder if he wears the Jordans with his police uniform. So in a Model Y, I like to take off this section of the back window so that we have room to get the tint behind the plastics. It's very easy. Take a trim tool on the side here, pop it up and out, and do the same thing on the other side. Up and out, pull it straight back. And one clip stayed behind right here, so he's got to pop that out and put it back. Shrink it up. You gotta shrink it up. This is where the blade cut through the plotter. This is just gonna rip off. Whenever you're shrinking a back window, if you ever feel like a little piece of sand, like right here, at the point of this card, you don't want to run over it with a card like this because you could potentially rip the film. So if you ever do have to go over it like so, like pull it over this piece of sand rather than push it, because when you pull it, you're not gonna rip the film. But if you push it, you could grab the sand and it'll tear the film. You could always lift it up and just take the sand out. But I mean, if you're right at the end right here and you don't want to have to relay everything down like this, then you can just go over it backwards. I'm gonna spray around the perimeter and squeegee around the perimeter before I peel this liner. I also have to do the spray squeegee spray on the inside. Junior Pump Up, windshield.com. Best spray bottle in the universe. Get yours before inflation goes up again and it increases the prices even more. I like to line the bottom on first, which is the top in this situation with the hatch open. Slide it up into the bottom. That sounds so wrong. Slide it up into the bottom, but it's the truth. The bottom is up there. Then we'll slide it up to create a light gap here because we have this rubber gasket that we have to open to slide the film between the gasket and the glass. Center first. Center. Overlapping strokes. Push around the perimeter with the gray liquid card wrapped with a towel and the heat gun around the sides just to seal up those edges. So you have extra water there. We use the bare gray liquid card to kind of squeegee that out. Put a nice quick wipe down. Very simple. Line up the center first. The sides. Take all of our equipment out. Our professional tools, and the customer requested that we take off his dual motor badge. So I'm going to use a soaking wet towel to wipe off the salt from the area. To speed up the process of removing the emblems while I'm putting the door panel and trimming the edges, I'm going to put a heat lamp on the emblem to kind of heat it up, get the glue loosened up. That way when I go to pop them off, they should come off nice and clean.
Scared me.
So we'll let that heat up and start putting the gaskets back in. So we have to trim here. On this side is the top edge, fresh blade. Now again, after shaving, you want to heat up that edge again to make sure it's nice and sealed. Because when you shave it, it could kind of lift it up a little bit. This is the only one that actually lined up really well, so we don't have to shave this one. When you put the door panel back over on the gasket on the Model Y, or even a Model 3, I like to do the front first on the front door. Kind of gives you a head start, and you can kind of just hit the panel on and it'll snap over the gasket into place. I like to give it a tap across the top too to make it sure it's fully engaged in that clip. Untrick the door. A little surgery. Kind of like, you gotta get one side in and like twist it. Dang it. There we go. It's a bit of a pain, but we got it. Slide it back on. Nice angle, light pressure. Very little sliver. Now, when I shave, I like to use these BD50Ps. These are carbon 30-degree blades, NT brand. We sell them on windshield.com, and they're awesome for shaving because they have a really fine hone, which means they're very sharp. And as long as you do it nice and light and you don't push too hard, it won't dull out as you do the shave. Just little crumbles. Perfect. The wire got disconnected when I pulled it out. Always make sure your wires are connected. A good trick if you have a customer that has a lot of Armor All or some kind of dressing on the interior and you tint the windows and the drips from the water actually leave lines in the Armor All or whatever dressing that they have. A good trick to clean that up is to either reapply what they had on there, but you might not know what that is, or you can take the spray away, foam it up on the door panel there, let it sit for a few seconds. In the meantime, just wipe the residue. You can even see the drip marks there. And then wipe it away. And 90% of the time it cleans up those drip marks that are like hazy stains. That'll resolve your issue with having drip mark stains on the door panel after tinting the windows. So at the same time as cleaning the window, I'll spray the door panel. And as I wipe the window off, I'll let it sit and then I'll wipe the door panel off. Do not roll down. These stickers, I like to stick them to my shirt before I stick them on the car, like the plastics in the car, because they tend to be too sticky. The sticky residue gets dampened by sticking it to your shirt because you collect some lint, and it won't ruin the interior. So it'd be a lot easier to remove these. I did have one time where I did a Volkswagen and I just stuck the sticker right on there. Customer took it off. It was hot summer days and it left the glue residue all over the interior. So, oh, my knees. These do bend when you take them off. If you guys are ever gonna do this, just keep in mind. And you also have to be very careful when you do take these off that you don't peel them like so. You can't peel them on an angle. You gotta lift it up a little bit on each side and then pull it off. Because if the corner gets shoved into the paint, it'll actually cause a chip. Use the easy reach. The best bet on taking these specific emblems off is using a plastic razor. These are from windowtintsupplies.com. We can kind of razor this off without actually cutting anything. We can even kind of like scrape this off without causing damage to the paint. Oh my God, this one's on there. The O doesn't want to let go. So the chemical that we're gonna use to take this glue off is called Stoner Tar and Sap. You put it in a spray bottle because we use it a lot. You don't wanna get it on the plastics of any part because it can eat away at it and dull them out. So I'm just gonna spray that, wipe the drips away. We're gonna let it soak for about a minute. We can go ahead and take a pink card or that same razor and just very lightly scrape the glue off. I'm not applying much pressure at all. I'm literally just laying on the car and putting it. Whatever doesn't come off, we'll try to wipe it with a towel, and the rest should just come off nice and easily. If it does not, we'll do another mist, wipe the drips, let it sit for a little bit, and rub it into the adhesive with your finger. Make sure you're wearing gloves. Chemical is not human friendly. It's meant for reptilians. Give it another scrape, wipe it away. Use some soapy water to take the chemical off of the paint. And that is how you take your dual motor badge. You're gonna see a little ghosting of the lettering there. You would have to polish that. He opted not to, but it came out really clean, and once this dries, you won't even see that ghosting. But if he ever does end up polishing his car, that'll be completely gone. Let's get this out and on to the next. Bye-bye. Full tint, 1 hour. I've done it before, but I probably won't be able to do it now. Last time I did one of these, I did it in 30 minutes. Think we can beat that? We got everything cut out already. I didn't prep it yet, so let's see. And let's just start it. Doing all sides and rear on this Infiniti Q50. Of course, I have no outside towel now. Now, since I'm doing this as fast as I can, I'm not gonna talk as much. This will be the last car in the video. Outside prep first. Aftermarket back window. Put all the seats up. Whew. Fresh blade. Aftermarket glass. That's not good. Guess this has gotten quite a few pieces of glass replaced on it before. This back glass is yellow. It has like a UV inhibitor in it. I don't know why it's like that. We got a 5-minute prep we just did. Quarter glasses on first. Spray squeegee spray. Ooh, I'm sweating. Haven't worked this fast in a while. Super fast. Oh yeah. Seal it up. Woo! How you doing? No gaps. Time it 27 minutes and 17 seconds. I did beat my new limit, my new record. Woo! 27 minutes. Tom's like, if it ain't about me, I don't care. All right, guys, that's it. That's it for this day in the life. I hope you enjoyed. We did one full car, and we did one full car really fast. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Well, that's full car.
Full car. Prepped, disassembled, reassembled, cleaned, done. It's a new record right there.
Is it?
Yeah. Last one I did was 35 minutes. Same car. All right, that's it. Meow. This little string is bothering the crap out of me. Looks like my nipple is protruding through my shirt. Spray squeegee spray.